Another Roof Scout video. Today we're going to be taking you through a warm roof construction. This is going to be a no-nonsense walkthrough just to show you exactly what you need to do to achieve this build-up. If you're looking for a more in-depth video of what a warm roof construction is, hit the like and subscribe button, as there will be a future video on this as well. So a quick run through of what we're going to be doing today. The timber deck's already down onto the furrings and onto the internal joists. We're going to put a timber frame around this to keep the insulation in. Also gives us something solid for our fascias and our trims to be nailed into at a later date. Next will be the vapor barrier. On top of that, the insulation, and then another OSB deck ready for the waterproofing membrane. So let's get started and show you how it's done.
So first off, we're fixing some 5x2 timbers around the perimeter. The size of the timbers may change depending on your insulation thickness. This timber frame is to stop the insulation from moving and also gives us something solid for our fascias and trims to be fixed into at a later date. Pre-drill the timbers first and then screw them back into the joist or deck below. Next, we start with the primer for the vapor barrier. This is to make sure it bonds to the decking board properly. We need to prime the whole deck, the timber frame, and also on the top, as this is where the vapor barrier will finish. Vapor barrier itself now. There are a few different ways to install this. As there were two of us and the area wasn't too big, this was the quickest way on this particular job. Flat area goes down first, overlapping by 50mm, and then this self seals. Then you will need to cut smaller pieces for the upstands around the timber frame and then the skylight. Make sure you use a penny roller or something similar to get into those angle changes, and also use a seam roller for your overlaps. Insulation now, pretty self-explanatory. Start with your full boards and then measure up and cut the pieces you'll need to fill those gaps. Make sure they are nice and tight together. Tape up all the joints, and then that's the insulation done. Last of all, another timber deck, because a rubber roof is going on after. I'll use some 50mm screws around the perimeter to go into our timber frame. And then we need some longer screws that can reach down through the insulation and into the joists or deck below. Again, the size of your screws will depend on how thick your insulation is.
So that's the warm roof construction done. As you can see, it's a pretty simple process. It's ready for our waterproofing membrane now. As ever, any comments, any questions, leave them below and we'll do our best to answer them.